Hello everyone, this is PotterBrony and welcome to another blind reaction to MLP Fanwork. This time I have a request or suggestion from Gold Glee Gamer, saying that if I could, to check out Buck Reviewer's Everything Wrong with MLP series. I have not seen these. I looked it up. There are only 5 that I was able to find of his. So, what I have brought up here is the first 3 that I was able to find is Winter Wrap Up, Sisterhood of Social, and Hurricane Fluttershy. Each of these relatively short videos, so I was going to put them all into one reaction. Alright, so getting it started with Everything Wrong with Winter Wrap Up, and starting the video in 3, 2, 1, go. Misspelled there. Everything.
Spike's snoring.
You're not wrong.
Not so subtle hint to how Spike really sees Twilight. Twilight encourages Spike to wake up despite the fact she has him going back to sleep on a checklist. And then she takes him with her anyway. Twilight gives her friend's clothes business a quick plug when there is no one around to hear it.
The same color as my blanket. What do you think of you're calling my name? Spike, Spike, come to bed.
So what, is Spike's blankie some kind of slut? Why is Twilight not assigned to a team already? Twilight knew about
That's
Winter
a
Wrap
major
Up before
assumption.
it came, as well as a bit of its history and traditions, yet still doesn't know what every pony does, how she will cope without magic, or what team to join. If unicorns not using their magic as tradition started because Ponyville was founded by Earth ponies, why are the Pegasi allowed to use their wings? Shouldn't bringing home the birds be a job for the animal team? Twilight is seen standing on the edge of a cliff face, but a few seconds later she is in the middle of a large crowd in an open field. Rainbow Dash dismisses the idea of
in a white
being part
screen.
of the weather team because she doesn't have wings, despite the fact Pinkie Pie is part of the weather team. Rarity is using magic. Spike acts like a dick in front of the girl he has a crush on.
It'll be easy as pie!
Missed opportunity as an obvious pun.
You are a natural, Twilight. A natural disaster.
Spike is a dick.
Animals often hibernate through winter to save their energy and eat less food.
When did Fluttershy become a kindergarten teacher? How does Fluttershy plan to continue waking
That's
the
not
animals
entirely
when she's
wrong,
not
though.
her only bell?
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Twilight is actually doing a pretty good job waking animals here. Look, she wakes like 4 groups in only a few seconds.
Yeah, that is a pretty good job.
For such a little pony.
Isn't she the same size as you? Twilight's magic appears to have a mind of its own. Spike pretends to Applejack that he is shocked Twilight used magic, despite the fact he proudly boasted to her a few moments before that she was following his advice.
That's what I'm here for, sister.
Yeah.
Another not so subtle
Spike
hint
is a
as to how
dick.
Spike sees Twilight.
I was hoping my amazingly inspirational speech would urge everyone to do better than last year.
Oh sure, moan about how things have gone wrong in the town you're a mayor of, but also make it clear it can't possibly be your fault. Only one pony has been assigned to making nests, despite the fact they need several hundred of them. The mayor expresses concern that spring will start late and also mentions that this is a recurring problem in Ponyville, yet it never occurs to her to start Winter Wrap Up earlier than the last day, or to simply allow unicorns to use magic.
Oh, that feather brain! Didn't she learn her lesson last year when she went west?
Wait, so you knew this pony had a habit of going the wrong way and you didn't think to check this, or send someone else? Some team leader you are. Yeah, Winter Wrap Up does become a lot easier when you have more than one pony making nests and more than one pony scoring the lakes. The Earth ponies would not have been able to do this hundreds of years ago. So, did they work through the night? Why is Spike writing a letter to the princess on a clipboard? Hasbro Studios.
At least the theme isn't a sin. Oh, that's a horrible sentence. Okay.
Okay, so technically this counts as using magic, but since it's not really helping cleaning up winter, and she's already used magic earlier on, I guess it's okay, so I'll let this go.
Alright, so that was for Winter Wrap Up, Everything Wrong With, from Buck Reviewer. Alright. And pulling up Everything Wrong With Sisterhood of Social. Alright, and starting the video in 3, 2, 1, and go. Spell check
First
again.
episode of the series not to feature Twilight Sparkle.
How divine.
Yeah, that is a sin, I think of it.
One maple cider.
What the fuck is Rarity talking about? With this amount of smoke in the room, Sweetie Belle should be suffocating. Why have Rarity's parents entered her house without her knowledge?
I didn't know you could burn juice.
You can't?
Let me guess. Applesauce. Nope. Toast.
Okay, I don't care what kind of logic the magical world this show is set in works under. That makes no sense. How did Sweetie Belle carry those bags into the house? She can't do magic, remember? Rarity gives Sweetie Belle these towels on their own. Next shot, they are in a basket. What the fuck is Sweetie Belle doing here? Sweetie Belle clearly draws this picture with only one crown, but when we see it later, she used at least 4 different colours.
Oh no! Did you use these gems?
Well, the chest is empty, Rarity, so what do you think? You know, you can probably still use these gems,
Rhetorical
Rarity.
question.
You just need to wash the glue off. This face is far too adorable. Rarity finds a whole bunch more of these supposedly extremely rare gems pretty easily. Where is this strange red haze coming from? Was there a dust storm in her room? Why is Apple Bloom holding this poster in her mouth when Sweetie Belle finds her?
Why, it's smashing.
This is a disturbingly accurate impression.
Right. And any sister who
I don't see that as a sin, though.
How do you know that, Sweetie Belle? You only found out about it today. Is Rarity stabbing Sweetie Belle in the head right here? Apple Bloom eats this apple whole,
I shall call it Full Spectrum Fashions.
even though there are 5 outfits there. Applejack is completely covered in grape juice here, but in the next shot, only her front is covered. Stalker much? You know, there's only so much sappiness you can put into a scene. These gems look a little flat. Is Rarity
Alright, so they pointed that
this
out.
plant?
Of course I give. I give lessons. Reasonable demands.
The element of generosity, everybody.
All we are is just a pile of mush and some crumbly dry mess.
Taken out of context, that line sounds really weird.
I guess it's a good thing, Rarity.
Which is why it'll sound weird later.
Call the fashion police on me if I got grape juice anywhere near her precious outfits. That's the last word Rarity would use. Rarity never high hooks me.
Rarity,
For
rarity,
someone that
rarity.
doesn't like Rarity, Sweetie Belle sure does talk about her a lot. Apple Bloom feels threatened by the idea of Sweetie Belle doing the race with her sister, even though she knows she will be dropping out fairly quickly. Rarity's eyes are not this shape. If Sweetie Belle is light enough not to sink into this mud hole, how is she able to stomp these grapes so easily? Berry punch in the race, berry punch in the crowd. Judging from what we saw in Season 1, Rarity should not be okay with being covered from head to hoof in mud. They never finished the race. All this mud that stayed on Rarity for the whole race, even when she is sent flying at one point, comes clean off as soon as it's over. So was Applejack holding her breath that whole time?
You did this for
Impressive.
Us. I did it for us.
Hey Rarity, I would stick with what was suggested there. It makes you look far more selfless. With this amount of smoke in the room, they should both be suffocating. What is up with that face? Hasbro.
Yeah, that is an evil face. Alright, so I guess Hasbro will be a sin in every one of them, huh? Well, he's giving actual sentences of what to do. Alright, so that was everything wrong with Sisterhood Social. Alright, and bringing up the last one. Everything wrong with Hurricane Fluttershy, or the last one I will do in this video at any rate. And starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Fluttershy must be a speed reader because there's 4 paragraphs on that flyer and she reads it in like a second. Why does Rainbow Dash waste so much paper on a mule?
So how's that a
Rainbow
sin?
Dash
Maybe
can
she's
tell
a
by
speed
counting
reader.
4 ponies that Fluttershy isn't present. Rainbow Dash just assumes this tree is Fluttershy in disguise. Fluttershy's idea to get out of the meeting is to
I don't
hide.
see that
right
as a
next to
sin.
Rose
She knows
Peach's
Fluttershy
house.
wants to be a
Why
tree.
didn't she just stay home? What exactly is wing power? I want
It's also a
Vsauce
good
on
one.
this right now.
Intermission?
Why would a minute-long film need an intermission? Where are these pull-down slides coming from? 4 squares represent
Magic.
10 wing power, 8 squares represent over 1,000. There is something wrong with this system. Steroids are now canon.
Let's see some fast.
You don't know that.
Is it really trotting if he's going any faster? Also, why is he trotting? Shouldn't he be flying? This pony is a machine. We see her lifting this weight at the start of training. Then Rainbow goes to Fluttershy's house, talks to her, comes back, has Twilight and Spike measure every pony's wing power, sees Fluttershy leave, and she's still going! Fluttershy actually thought this would
Well,
work.
what?
Fluttershy's mane becomes dry when she falls
Or maybe
off.
she's going again.
The flight camp instructor kicks Fluttershy off the cloud. This is child abuse. Fluttershy isn't actually covering her ears here. Twilight uses the term accelerative velocity here, when
People have thrown
acceleration and
children into
velocity are
pools.
separate measurements. How does Rainbow Dash's whistle fall off here when it was wrapped around her neck? Dr. Hooves is not a Pegasus. Pegasi are listed by
He is
colours and
there.
silhouettes of their heads when they could have just written down their names. If the meter reaches its limit when some pony flies 11.0 wing power, how did it measure Rainbow 16.5? Fluttershy doesn't know what 0.5 means. Twilight hits Spike for pointing out the obvious. This squirrel offers Fluttershy an acorn that's been in his mouth. Gross. This is a homage to the Rocky training montage and even has similar music, so this is not a sin. Moving on. Where did the woodland critters get these masks? Fluttershy apparently can't fly very fast, but is still able to crash through a tree and come out the other side. Wait, she can fly headfirst into a tree and come out the other side, but she can't beat a butterfly at a tug of war? Did Angel steal Rainbow Dash's hat and whistle? Fluttershy sucks a tear into her eye here. Like, what? Headband? No headband. Headband.
What's that?
It's clearly Fluttershy. Twilight hits Spike for pointing out the obvious. Take 2. Spike straightens his spikes here and then looks up at them for an unnaturally long period of time. Well, it's a good thing Spitfire's here, because if they get into a situation where they only need a little bit more wing power, I'm sure she'll only be too happy to help. Right?
Yeah,
just
if only.
Thunderlane was faking it. Why is a Colt here? Surely his wings won't be strong enough to add anything. If only 8 Pegasi are missing, they have an average wing power of 10, and Rainbow's aim to break the wind speed record of 910 wing power is realistic, they should still be able to reach 800 wing power fairly comfortably. Bonbon is not a Pegasus. The water starts to move before they even reach 750 wing power. Duckface. Rainbow tells her team to stay in position while clearly out of position. Also, yelling at them like that isn't going to help their concentration much.
Yeah.
She knows that, Spike. She was there. Fluttershy and Rainbow Dash are going at the same speed here. Either Rainbow's just cruising along, or Fluttershy has really improved her speed. Who is this guy? This won't be enough water to feed all of Equestria for a year. How did the other Pegasi know the childhood chant that had traumatized Fluttershy? Why is Spike playing a double-chambered flute? Hasbro.
Yeah, that one always got me in that episode. I do enjoy that episode, but double-chambered flute thing, that's weird. Alright. So those were the first 3 of the sins from Buck Reviewer for the sin videos. And yeah, enjoyable series. There aren't that many of them, though. It's not something that he does a lot of, but they're pretty well done. A couple of things that I don't really consider sins, but yeah. You might also want to check on the spelling in your every or ever thing wrong thing, but maybe he'll fix that. Alright, so I want to thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'm just going to end this one here. Until next time, take care. Bye.